Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and first things first, once again, I'm very sorry for the hiatus. I've been very busy. So, we're bringing the channel back. I'm back, so we're going to be doing 2 top 10 videos today. Maybe 3, who knows. Uh, but today we got 2 top 10 videos. This is number 1. Today we're going to be focusing on my top 10 favorite rock bands. Now this is in from 10 to 1, that particular order, but other than that, I'm kind of thinking up what I think are my favorite rock bands, but there may be others. I guess the honorable mentions would be 3 Days Grace, Flyleaf, and I guess other bands that aren't just rock, like Seventh Day Slumber and Cutlass, and I guess early Toby Mac. They're not just rock though. So yeah, well, let's get into the countdown. Number 10, Linkin Park. I know a lot of people think Linkin Park is new metal, but which to me at least, unless it's like Slipknot or the new metal songs from Demon Hunter, new metal is just really rock to me. I don't know how it's really metal. It doesn't, and it's not just because it doesn't have scream vocals barely, but I don't know. It's probably because it's not as heavy as other bands like Metallica or anything. Well, of course that's thrash metal, but still. I know there's probably light metal, but you know what I mean. Linkin Park though, their early stuff, mainly I'm talking about their first 2 albums and a few songs from the third, but excuse me, but I think my favorites from Linkin Park would be Somewhere I Belong, In the End, Numb, pretty much their hits, those 3 hits. And then What I've Done, the song from Transformers, Nudified, another song from Transformers, uh, and I guess Paper Cut. I think that was kind of underrated a little bit. Well, I guess it's not as much anymore, but I thought it was back in the day. So Linkin Park at number 10. Number 9, Breaking Benjamin. Uh, I've never really talked about this band except once on this video on this channel. I mean, but I'm a kind of a Breaking Benjamin fan, or somewhat becoming one. Uh, I don't know what it is. Just I like some of their stuff. I think my favorites would be number 1 would be Give Me a Sign. So Cold is another favorite. Ashes, Eden, I think is what it's called. That's probably another favorite. Uh, You, Dear Agony, and Without You. Mostly from the Dear Agony album. And then, so that's Breaking Benjamin at number 9. Number 8, Shinedown. I don't think I've ever talked about this band at all. Barely. But I'm a Shinedown fan, for sure. Even though I don't have any of their CDs. But, I don't know what it is. I just like their music still. Not everybody does, but I understand that. But I do at least. It's not for everybody, but it's that kind of cool soft rock. I guess somewhat hard rock, not really. But yeah, Shinedown, my favorite. I think my favorite album from them would be The Sound of Madness. Some of my favorites are mostly from that album. So you got Sound of Madness, If You Only Knew, Breaking Inside, What a Shame, and some others like Get Up and Simple Man and Burning Bright. So I guess another one would be Amaryllis. I think that's what it's called. Forgive me for pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, that's Shinedown, number 8. I couldn't really come up with other examples or other favorites. Sorry for the stutter or mistakes I keep making in this video, but either way, I couldn't make this video without putting some of my favorite Christian rock bands in this list as well as the secular stuff. I thought it would mix it up a little bit. So number 7 is Christian rock band, Thousand Foot Krutch. I really like their music music too. They're not one of my favorite bands by all means, but for a rock band like that, really good. Of course, a lot of the music I like is Christian rock, but still, even though they're not one of my favorites, they're still good. Uh, my personal favorites would have to be Phenomenon, Rockfist, Welcome to the Masquerade, Fire It Up. Other songs like Move, Absolute, and even their ballad song, Already Home. So yeah, that's Thousand Foot Crutch at number 7. Number 6. Let me think here. I kind of forgot this list. I guess number 6 would be, okay, Lifehouse. Lifehouse is a new band to me. I mean, I've known about them. I mean, on the bus in school, on the bus they'd play You and Me on Sunny 99.1 back in the day. But that was all I knew about them, and I looked them up. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice about their music. And I knew about Hanging by a Moment as well, but I listened to their greatest hits album, I was blown away by how good their music is. I can't believe I've passed up so many times of looking up their music. What do you call it? I have some of my favorites, like the other two I already mentioned. You and Me and Hanging by a Moment are my favorites now, but other ones would be First Time, Whatever It Takes, Halfway Gone, Everything, and even 6 Hour Cycle Carousel, and what do you call it? What was the other one? Take Me Away. So yeah, that's Lifehouse at number 6. Number 5, we got a classic rock band, U2. Now, my mom was looking at some 80s music from her time, and that's how I first got introduced to U2, and I was immediately interested. If that makes any sense. But, yeah, they're kind of a pop rock band. I know they're not like Metallica or, well, that's metal, but I know they're not like other bands like Def Leppard or Genesis. But still, I think U2 is my favorite classic rock band, even though they're pretty much pop rock, but either way. I don't know, it's just, I like their music. I have the greatest hits CD of 18 singles, so I'd have to say my favorites would have to be, for sure, Mysterious Ways at number 1, Beautiful Day, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, Desire, and I guess for another one would be, I guess, Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out of. And Vertigo is another one. So yeah, that's U2 at number 5. Now, this is just my opinion, but whether if you like it or not, the last few are Christian rock bands as well. Like I said, I try to mix them in together, but I don't know, I guess I'm more of a Christian rock guy, I guess, the positivity, I guess. I guess it's just more my cup of tea. I mean, that doesn't mean I don't like any secular stuff, like I already mentioned. I like both in this video, but still, the top 4 are Christian rock bands, so let's get into it. Number 4, Disciple. Now, I've heard every Disciple album, studio album, including the 3 EPs of theirs. And they used to be one of my favorite bands, but still, I don't know what it is. They just kind of somewhat fell off, but still a good band, though. I like them, and I still have their CDs, and I still enjoy them. But that's not what we're talking about. They were talking about how good their music is to me, and why they're in my top 10 favorite rock bands. Now, I've heard some people said they were metal, but I don't think so. Well, except for 1999 to 2003 stuff. I wouldn't say their 95 debut, but I could maybe see the This May Sting a Little, the By God album, and Back Again. I could maybe see in those metal, but not really. The rest are just rock to me. But yeah, I think my favorites from Disciple would be Dear Ex, You Don't Own Me, Invisible, Remedy, Draw the Line, After the World, and Game On. Pretty much mostly, oh yeah, and Cuff the Criminal and Panic Room if I had to put some new stuff in there. So yeah, pretty much from those albums, those are my favorites. So yeah, that's Disciple number 4. Number 3, Relentless Flood. I think they were once again one of my favorites, which they still are in my top 10. But their music is still good. They are definitely an open Christian band, but what do we call it? But I think their music, their riffs, the guitars, the drums, their music's awesome to me. I think my favorites would have to be Without You Here, Letting Go, their ballad, and then I was trying to say their ballad called Letting Go. And then you had Never Again, Burn Within Me, Away From Me, Escape the Fall, and Used to Be another, which is another ballad. So that's Relentless Flood at number 3. Now here we are, top 2, and these are some of my favorite bands as well. Number 2, Red. What do you call it? I have an interesting story about Red. My second CD was Wow Hits 2008 I ever got that I know of, except some other ones, but either way. Alex CDs I came up, my second was the Wow Hits 2008. That's not what we're talking about today. Red was on that one with Breathe Into Me, the screenless version. If you didn't know, Breathe Into Me had a screenless version. So that was my first experience hearing a Red song. And then another one was another WoW CD. WoW Hits 2012. Faceless was on it, and that's when I first saw their name. I didn't notice that at first, I guess. And then I guess I looked on iTunes once, and there was this same band called Red, and that was when Release the Panic was coming out. And then when I started buying stuff on iTunes as well, and Spotify, I had only a few Red songs, but one of my heroes, Zach D Productions, got me into Red. Shout out to his channel. Go check it out if you want. But yeah, he was talking about it, and I was like, okay, if he likes this stuff, and I'll give it another shot. And lo and behold, and I heard they were coming up with the album Gone before that. That came out that October, so that February, I listened to the current albums, so over the first 5 albums I had at the time. And when Gone came out, I listened to that. Funny thing is, I had eye surgery that day that Gone came out. So I was still listening to that though, that night. Just thought I'd bring that interesting fact out. But, no, I mean, like, so then the cool part is I got this Who We Are the Red Anthology and Gone on CD that year, and the rest is history. I'm immediately hooked now. Red is now just one of my favorite, that's not just one of my favorite bands, but they're my second favorite rock band of all time. So, which one's number 1? I think you know who it is. Number 1, Skillet. I know not everybody likes Skillet, but some people think it's just because they're a Christian band, or it's just not their cup of tea, which I can respect that, but, you know. I don't know, it's just, they're probably because they were one of my first rock bands. And one of the first bands I ever really got into. Their album Awake was my 4th ever CD that I count that I ever got. And that was over 10 years ago. So as you see, I kind of have a nostalgic bias towards Skillet, but still, yeah, they have their ups and they have their downs. But here we're talking about the ups. So my favorites would have to be definitely Hero, Monster, Awaken Alive, Whispers in the Dark, Rebirthing, Savior, Forsaken, and then Feel Invincible, Not Gonna Die, Legendary, Save Me, and even an underrated song is one of my favorites, Back to Life from the Victorious album. And even you got their other somewhat worship songs. I guess like Stars, Anchor, Terrify the Dark, Lions. So yeah, I guess for another rock song you put The Resistance on there. So that's Skillet at number 1. So that was my list for the top 10 favorite rock bands, both Christian and secular. But what do y'all think of this list? What are some of y'all's favorite rock bands? Let me know down in the comments. And we'll be back with the next video real soon. So until then, next time.